Namaskaram, this is Gokulraj from Cosmic Consciousness. So I have done Master in Reiki. Here we have a guest, Mr. Rajan. So here we are going to shoot some questions to him for the Gen Z and Millennium people. So we can have a fun now. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram, Gokul.
So we have some questions. Why spirituality?
Why not spirituality? To ask why spirituality, one needs to know what spirituality is. So we have a lot of notions about spirituality. It's almost become a fad, like veganism is a fad, right? It's a like a hipster. So spirituality has become one of those things. Why spirituality is we are a spirit being. There is a body, which is the physical sharira, and there is an Atman, which is the spirit of the being, the light that shines within the being. And then there is a Manus, which is the subconscious or the unconscious, there's a mind, right? When these three integrate is when one's life is complete or one's life is full. They are in the pathway in a direction that is purposeful. For me to describe it in a simple way to the Gen Z population out there, spirituality is discipline. Spirituality is discipline. When you are able to show up for yourself, that is spirituality. When you are able to show up for your family, your tribe, your circle of friends, your circle of community, that is spirituality. And you show up in the best way possible. You show up as the most optimal being that you can show up as, for which you need to train, for which you need to practice to know how that optimal being feels like. What does it feel like to wake up early and see the sun? What does it feel like to actually have a practice and workout in the morning? Get those endorphins and serotonin and dopamine pumping through your body and feeling good, and you jumping out feeling excited to see your day. That is a good essence to start in the spiritual path. That brings discipline. When one has discipline, one will have devotion to the betterment of themselves. And when one has that devotion and discipline towards themselves, then naturally they will have that discipline and devotion to their world outside, the external environment outside.
Okay, that's a nice answer.
Thank you.
So now, the hero of the spirituality is the God. So who is God? So how to reach God? Because we people are so confused. Like some of them asking us to go to temple, church, mosque to worship God, and they are saying the statues of the temple, you will get whatever you need. So we are really confused. We don't know what to do. And some of them saying it's a bright light. So it's God present in the bright light, or in the statues in the temple, or in the statues in the mosque or church. So everyone says that He is omnipresent, He is present everywhere. But according to you, how do you define that?
Rather than saying according to me, let's say according to the Vedas, according to the ancient scriptures, but I will decipher it in a way that the modern human being understands. Rather than asking who is God, one should ask what is God. God is the one with form, the one without form, and the one with and without form. So when you understand these three things, or if you're able to understand these three things, then all of the things that you said becomes valid. He's omnipresent, He's in a form, He's in form and without form. And the Pancha Bhutas, the five elements of the planet, of the universe, the five elements of the universe is the construct of this realm that we are in, this world that we are in. The five elements is what we are made out of. So when a particle has to come together, it needs the five elements to be put together in that particle to construct a shape or an object. Like for example, if you have to make this little clay pot, the clay pot comes from earth, but to make this you need fire to bake it, you need water to mix the clay, to hold and mold it, you need air to blow it so that it takes shape of this shape of this pot, and you need the space to hold this, right? But in its true essence, all this is atoms and molecules. By having those Pancha Bhutas, you're able to put shape. You're able to create something out of the Pancha Bhutas. That's all they are. Pancha Bhutas are nothing but the 5 elements, are nothing but it's to create the creation of everything that we see around us, within us as well. It's because of the Pancha Bhutas, because of the 5 elements that we are created. So then, what is God? God, so that explains Pancha Bhutas, that explains the 5 elements. And what is God? God is nothing but is a supreme or primal, the primordial source of energy. To understand God, one needs to understand self. And who is self? We are a source of energy. Within this body, there is an electrical circuit that's running and generating electricity, energy to run the organs, to run this body, to run this machine, this vessel. Then when you look at this planet, it's a ball, energy. This planet is an energy ball. So it's running the circuit of electricity through the earth, the toroidal field, to run this planet so that it could spin around itself, and also it can spin around the sun. Now all of this energy should come from somewhere, right? So when at home we turn on the switch, we get lights and fans and air conditioner and TV and whatever else. But all of that energy comes from a source, like a main grid. Where does that main grid get its energy from? That's God. So the primordial source of energy, where we get this entire cosmos gets its energy, is what the Vedas define as God, who is formless, who has a form, who has form, and does not have a form. So it's outside the construct of our consciousness. It's outside the construct of our mind. Is it possible to see God? I don't know. Everything is possible and everything is not possible, and everything is possible and not possible. So this keeps playing over and over. Can you see, can you hear, can you feel? So this keeps going in circles of, it's in a place outside of the construct of our mind, right? Now you were talking about temples. So temples were built as a center to bring people into a concentrated energy field so that they can concentrate on learning about God through the Vedas, through the spiritual books like the Quran, like the Bible, Tirumandiram and Tiruvasagam and so on and so forth, the Bhagavad Gita, etc. And they even offered food in the temples so that people can come to have food so that they can listen to people reciting the Vedas. And if you look at the construction of a mosque or a temple or a church, it's got that pyramid shape, it's got a conical shape on top, which is a powerhouse of energy. So it draws the energy in and it contains this energy. When people congregate in here and they're reading a spiritual script, naturally the flow of energy of understanding the script becomes at a higher pace. That was the reason why temples were built. They put a statue there because people needed a single point of focus to concentrate on something. And that's why a statue was created, to get that concentration, single pointed concentration. Right? So in churches it's the cross or it's Mother Mary, and in the mosque they have the Quran, which is covered, the holy book, the Tiruquran, which is covered, and that is their God. So they have that centered point of structure there so that they can pray and bow and have their concentration towards that. In the temples, in the Hindu temples, it's a god, a goddess, Shiva, Parvati, or Ganesha, Muruga. In the Buddhist monasteries, it's a big statue of Buddha. Okay. So this is how they came about. The idea behind this is to actually draw their attention to a centered point, so that they can keep their focus on that. So through that centered point, through that focus, while they're hearing and listening or reading and reciting the Vedas or the ancient scripts, they can connect to that primordial energy, and start interfacing the qualities of that primordial energy into this energy being here in this planet.
Okay.
That was a very deep question, and I hope I was able to answer to your
Yeah.
satisfaction.
Yeah, I can understand.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for answering my questions. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you, Gokul.
Thank you so
Thanks for
much.
asking some beautiful questions. Appreciate that. Thank you.